What's up, guys and gals? We are back on another little job. Finally, this is a paying job. So what's going on is this whole area right here is pumping. Somebody got in here doing some dirt work, and when they cleared this little lot, I think it looked about like that, I'm not sure. Of course, they got some storage units right there. I think that's okay over there, but like this area where the shipping containers are sitting, it's pumping pretty bad. When they unloaded these shipping containers, they kept getting stuck. I've already fixed it with a Mini X a couple weeks ago, but somebody got in here and they just dumped a bunch of good red good dirt on top of topsoil and everything else. So y'all can imagine what's going on with the ground. So, and they've already got a lot of money in gravel sitting on top of it. So what I'm going to do is put on my smooth bucket there, and I'm going to try to rake back the gravel, stockpile it, just to use it for more or less a base at the end of it. Y'all can see right there, it's pumping pretty bad. What I did is I dug down when they had a Mini X in here. I dug down and found the issue, and I figured that's what it was forever. Started digging. So what I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna rake back the gravel. I'm gonna try to take the trash dirt, throw it over here if I can reach. I should have a little dump truck coming in just a minute, and I'm gonna try to stockpile the gravel somewhere, cut out bad dirt. I'll probably bring in some good dirt to pack it back in, and then I'll take the gravel that I rake off here, put it down, and then we'll top coat it with some fresh gravel. So let's get this thing warmed up and ready to go. All right, guys, I'm about to get started right here. We got a massive amount of rain 2 days ago. I think this right here is probably actually good. right now. They're supposed to be bringing me a little dump truck. I don't know. I'm gonna start laying this dirt back and just see how bad it is. I know it's pretty bad right in there, and there was one bad spot right there. Just not real sure how much bad dirt is in here. As y'all can see right here, y'all can kind of see the ground moving a little bit, but that layer right there is a problem. Y'all can see the topsoil, the subsoil or whatever, and then they just dump good red dirt on top of it. You just can't do that. Not on a road and anything's got to hold up weight. I'm kind of worried. I really hope that they dug out when they poured that pad for those actual storage units. I mean, these units can be moved and reset if they have problems, but that over there, I hope they didn't do that underneath those. Y'all can see that right there, see the roots and stuff in it. I mean, a little bit's okay, but when it's a foot thick, that's what causes your pumping and your ground to never be settled. I'm just gonna cut it out until I get down to solid ground. Good thing is we got good weather all week. I'll probably cut it out, just let it dry out some today. See how fast I can get dirt in here. I mean, y'all look at that. Looks like a 3-layer cake. I mean, just if they would have took out 6 inches, that would have made a world of difference. Well, y'all know what 6 inches can do. I mean, I get by with less. see that they got room to set another container right here. So I think I just need to go ahead and cut this out too. Dirt around that light pole that's holding water. Alright guys, I got my channel cut. I doubt I'm gonna get any dirt today. The guy I'm gonna get it from, he's hauling gravel today, so he said it'd probably be in the morning before he can get to me. I need to calculate it, see how many it's gonna take. I really don't know. It's probably about a foot deep. I don't know. I got a tape measuring truck. I need to walk it out and get a rough idea anyway. Alright guys, my first load just showed up. It's the next morning. I got the machine warmed, so we're gonna track back here and see if we can't get her worked in here. We'll get back off in my trench here. Feel how solid it is anyway. Glad no water ran in here overnight. I figured it may seep in here, but it ain't standing nowhere, so that's a good sign. As we work it in here, that dump truck will help pack it. bringing the money's worth, that's for sure. He ain't shortchanging it. Shallow as we go. Said anywhere from 6 to 8 loads. I figured we'd be close to that. Depends on how well it packs. This has got a pretty good mixture of clay and sand, looks like. Working around really easy, but it's also, I can tell it's got some clay in it. Alright, let's go back up. Work this right here. third load. get on it and pack it down. So I'm gonna pull this way back. shallower up through here, so should go further. this should be our final load. He's packing it in for me. Should work out pretty nice. Especially when he gets it packed in there.
That's right, down under.
I know, I probably should have cut it out about another foot. Be better than it was.
Oh, you're bad.
Not really. I will to fix this. If you want to just scoot over one more right here, pack it, and then just dump it down here, and I'll just work it back that way.
Let me get a little bit of it off where I ain't just completely.
That'll work. It's pumping just a little bit, but I mean, that ain't nothing. It's a fully loaded truck, so. Ain't nothing like it was, but of course he's just packing it down really. The excavator just don't do the best on packing. Gonna ease up and dump the rest of it out, and then I'll just fill this in right here, and then I'll work it all back that way, cover up the ruts. Should be good to go. Okay, so I should be able to take this. Just drag this all the way back and around. Cover up the ruts. this around, and then we'll be pulling the gravel back over the top of it. All right, y'all, that's what it looks like after I got everything slicked down and tracked in. I think it looks really nice. I really wish I had room to get further over that way so I could pull that rock all the way over, but just not gonna be able to, so we'll just see what I can do with it. So yeah, I'm happy with it. Well, let's pull this over. You'll probably be back with a load of gravel in about an hour or so. All right, let's see what we can do with this. I ain't worried about it being pretty right now. I was able to save a lot of this gravel. way and then pull it sideways. How about that? Close. So close. I don't know if y'all can see on the camera there, but I'm right up next to it. About 4 or 5 inches maybe. All right. Let's see. Get this graded out and I'll get back with y'all in a minute. All right, let's check this thing out. I think that looks pretty nice. One load of gravel top dress, it should do the trick. This is pretty wet, so once it dries it should set up and hold pretty good. I'm happy with it. It's amazing what you can do with one machine and a tilt bucket. Tomorrow I'm probably going to have to load a lot of this out. They don't own it. They don't own over that way as much as I thought they did. I thought I could taper it down and use a lot of this, but just ain't looking good. And I've got a lot more here than I was anticipating too, but that's okay. I think that's their actually marker right there. Should be there and all the way to that back corner. So yeah, I'm on the neighbor's property over here. All right, so I'll wait till he gets back with a load of gravel and see what she looks like when it's finished. Well, all right, y'all, this one is done. Yo, except for hauling off this stuff, but we'll do that tomorrow or the next day. But that's it. He tried dump spreading it and it was going good, but this stuff was so wet it got compacted and then it wouldn't come out and got hung up, so kind of messed it up a little bit. But I was able to get in there and smooth it on down, so I think that's pretty good for just an excavator. We'll let this pack down. Like this stuff right here should this should set up and hold really good. That right there is just dirt on top of the old gravel, but yeah, I'm happy with it. I think it turned out good. Y'all, if y'all are thinking about a smooth bucket or a tilt bucket, I highly recommend one. This is a Diesel brand. I found it on eBay. When I bought this bucket, I think I gave like right at $6 grand for it. I think it's like 6,100 and some change, and that was delivered. So well worth it. Well worth it. Bucket pretty much the same from Caterpillar, was well over 10,000. So I have zero complaints about that bucket, except I wish it could handle more capacity. I wish they'd have just made it a little bit deeper, but that's not what that bucket's for. So like I said, if y'all are in the market for one, I have zero complaints. If I get another machine or whatever, I'll get a bucket for that machine. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all let me know what you think. Y'all keep your eyes open. I'll see you later.